Have you ever spent a long time worrying, obsessing, overanalyzing an email or a text or a conversation that you had, feeling that you screwed up? Oftentimes, people have a desire to correct it afterwards with a second email or text or follow up, etc. The advice I would give you is do not do that. Because, but when you send a follow up, correcting, changing, etc., now you run the risk of not only looking stupid from what the first message was, but now looking weak and indecisive. Meaning is if you have something to say it and mean it and face the consequences of that. You don't want to equivocate because really people can be wrong in relationships. And you know what? Sometimes you get upset about what somebody says. But that itself isn't a sign of weakness. It might just be a sign of passion. However, nobody wants to be close to somebody who comes off as weak, approval seeking, needy, etc. So you definitely lower your chances of that connection when you do a follow-up email before you hear back from them or do a follow-up text or whatever. It makes you look weak. In the ultimate reality, it doesn't really matter so much about that particular text or email, so much about the whole relationship. And nobody wants to connect to somebody that they don't respect, that they see as weak or needy, equivocating, playing both sides, etc. So while you do need to contemplate and be deliberate and be very careful about what you write, and before you send it, you should think about it, put it down, take some time. Nevertheless, after the fact, once you send it, barring extreme circumstances, it's better just to let the consequences of what you wrote go through and then see what happens afterwards. Sometimes you do need to make a follow-up though. Sometimes you do need to make a follow-up if there's incorrect information or you really did go too far. In that case, just make a very brief follow-up with just the pertinent information that needs to be changed. And if it was really bad, maybe a slight apology. But 95% of the time, that looks bad and weak.
Hi, this is Nikki. Leave a message.
Hi, Nikki. This is Mike. I met you at the Dresden tonight. I just called to say that I had a great time.